At PlayStation, we believe in generational transitions, and we put years of work into making them happen. We want you to enjoy the unique benefits of moving from one generation to the next. Thank you for joining us. We're launching later this year, and we have tons more to share. Welcome to PlayStation 5.
Next holiday, Xbox Series X will lead us into the future of console gaming. Our fastest, most powerful Xbox will set a new bar for performance, speed, compatibility. Developers around the globe are already hard at work building games for Xbox Series X. Our 15 Xbox game studios are developing the largest and most creatively diverse lineup of exclusive games in our history.
Assalamualaikum everyone and good day madam. My name is Muhammad SYAHEED bin KUNCHALAVI. My metric number is 281077 and
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is NAIM bin YUSOFF and my matrix number is 281373.
Today we are going to talk about the comparison between Sony PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So ladies and gentlemen, the stage has been set. November 2020 is the month that these two giant companies, Sony and Microsoft, is going to release the next generation gaming console, that is Sony PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. It is not every year you are going to get a brand new console from either Sony or Microsoft, and I believe that some of you guys out there are still wondering which consoles you should get today for this holiday and going forward for the next couple of years. Firstly, we are going to talk about the specification of these two consoles. When it comes to the spec, both Sony and Microsoft has taken a similar approach. There are still a few key differences to point out. The PlayStation 5 is powered by a custom-built version of 3rd generation AMD Ryzen chipset, packing within 8 cores with the company's new Zen 2 architecture and Navi graphic. The CPU runs at 3.5 GHz. The GPU offers 36 compute unit running at 2.23 GHz and offering 10.28 teraflops. Those parts are paired with 16 GB of GDDR6 RAM with a bandwidth of 448 GB per second. It means the PlayStation 5 is able to support features like ray tracing, a performance-intensive lighting technique that has previously been reserved to expensive high-end PCs GPUs, and which we now know will be built into the GPU hardware for the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 will also support screen resolution up to 8K, far higher than standard 1080p HD of most people's television, let alone that of the increasing popular 4K. It will also work at 120 Hz refresh rate, allowing for super smooth movement in games if you have HDMI 2.1 complement display.
The Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series X meanwhile is incredibly impressive on paper. It too is custom AMD, instead using the same Zen 2 and RDNA 2 architecture of the PS5, making it 2 times more powerful than the Xbox One X, the last generation most technically and impressive gaming hardware. The Xbox Series X GPU boasts 12 teraflops of computing performance with 3,328 shaders allocated 52 compute units. It runs along 1,825 GHz and unlike the most GPU, doesn't fluctuate between speed. Instead, it delivers the same clock speed regardless of the temperature of the unit or the game that you are playing. The processor is customized AMD Zen 2 CPU with 8 core and 16 threads. Interestingly, the developer can choose to disable multi-manual multi-threading to reach a peak speed of 3.8 GHz or hit a base speed of 3.6 GHz when it enables the Xbox Series X support 8K resolution and 120Hz refresh rate at 4K if you have an HDMI 2.1 compliant TV. Secondly, we are going to talk about the design of these two consoles. The Xbox Series X has a fairly conservative design. Microsoft's newest console resembles a vertical PC tower with a sleek black chassis and a small tasteful Xbox logo in the upper left corner. There is a disk drive on the front of the console as well. The whole thing looks pleasantly geometrical and you can position it horizontally in case your entertainment center doesn't have enough vertical space.
The PlayStation 5 design is quite different. Sony's next-gen consoles looks like a rounded black rectangle surrounded by two white fins that almost converge in a downward triangular pattern. Notably, the PlayStation 5 will also be available in two different configurations, a standard version with a disc drive and a digital edition without one. Naturally, you will be able to play physical titles on the former but not on the latter. The backward compatibility for these two consoles. Both Sony and Microsoft has been very open about how backward compatibility will work on their system. The PlayStation 5 can run just about every PlayStation 4 games, but nothing from the PlayStation 3 or earlier. So if you own a Sony PlayStation 4 previously, you don't need to be worried about the games that you have bought. Games that were optimized for the PlayStation 4 Pro will still have their enhancement in place. But because of the software is sort of catch-all application, not every title is guaranteed to work equally well. While Sony never promised backward compatibility beyond the PlayStation 4, it now seems clear that PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games will not function on the PlayStation 5.
At present, the Xbox Series X has more robust options, but the PS5 play plenty of older games to play as well. Microsoft has promised that every Xbox One game will be compatible with Xbox Series X. Furthermore, Microsoft's smart delivery system ensures that if you buy any Xbox One game that also available on the Xbox Series X, you will automatically add the Xbox Series X version once you upgrade your console. Additionally, a handful of select Xbox 360 and original Xbox game will also work with the system. Microsoft has committed to upscaling some old favorite old titles, making them to run 4K resolution or up to 120 FPS frame rate. Besides that, the console exclusive is defined as the status of the video game being developed for and released only on certain platforms. In terms of Xbox Series X exclusive, Halo Infinite is still the platform's biggest title. One interesting thing about the Xbox Series X exclusive is that, strictly speaking, they are not exclusive to the console at all. Every Xbox Series X game from a first-party studio will also be available for the PC.
Sony PlayStation 5, on the other hand, have an interesting console-exclusive games as well, including Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Horizon Forbidden West. These titles are true PlayStation exclusives, so you won't be able to play these on the PCs or Xbox consoles, although some of them are available on the PS4. There are also Final Fantasy 16, which will be released exclusively on PlayStation 5 as far as the console goes. Last but not least, the moment everyone has been looking forward is the price for these two consoles. Sony has announced the price and release date for the PlayStation 5 during their live stream on 11 November 2020. The system will be officially available in Malaysia starting December 11, 2020 and will only cost you around 2,299 ringgit for the disc edition and 1,869 ringgit for the digital edition. unfortunately, it is not easy to pre-order either system due to limited console supplies, as the first batch for the pre-order has been sold out nationwide. So, for those of you who wanted to grab the PlayStation 5, need to wait for the second and third batch arrive in Malaysia by next year.
Microsoft has also revealed its console price that will cost you around RM2,199 for Xbox Series X. If that's too much money, they are also revealed the Xbox Series S for the RM1,499. The Xbox Series X will launch on November 10, 2020, and you might consider if you want to buy the Microsoft Xbox. Let's go guys, it's gonna be fun! Interestingly, the PS5 and Xbox Series X both got identical score in our review. This doesn't necessarily mean that the two systems are identical, of course, just that they both have many strengths and a relatively few weaknesses. On paper at least, the Xbox Series S does look a little bit more powerful. It has a stronger hardware, better backward compatibility, and more attractive design. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is a more comprehensive service that offered by Sony. Whichever console you decide to purchase, remember that the generation has only just begun. There are plenty more excitement to be had in the years to come, and the competition is likely to be fierce throughout. That's all for today. Stay safe, stay at home, and Assalamualaikum. Bye bye.